Yo, what up, world? 502 King Paul coming to y'all with another video, man. Over the past couple of years since I stopped smoking weed, I've had so many people come to me and say, man, you look great. I almost didn't recognize you. I mean, are you in the gym? I mean, it's instant, especially people who I haven't seen in, beyond 2 years. It's instant. As soon as they see me, like, man, what are you doing? You look so good. You look so healthy. Just the other day, good brother who works at the gym that I frequent, he said, man, if you go back and look at your old videos, you look totally different. You can tell a huge difference between then and now. And a lot of people come on my channel, they leave comments, they write me in the inbox, say, man, I'm having a hard time with this whole smoking thing. I'm having a hard time. I want to stop so bad, but I just can't stop. I don't think I'm ready to stop. How did you stop? Do you have any tips? Do you have any tricks? Do you have something that you could tell me? And I normally tell them, look, make sure that you fill up your schedule. From the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. Make sure you completely exhaust yourself every single day. I also tell them to go to the gym, work out. I still do that because that's what helps me out mentally, just in life. Not even with the smoking thing, but just in life, man, it helps me. But one thing that I don't tell enough people, and I want to drive home inside this video right here, the main reason why I stopped smoking, how I was able to stop smoking, it's because I prayed. I prayed all the time. Before I even stopped smoking, I used to pray all the time. God, please give me the strength. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Take this one away from me. And eventually over time, that's exactly what happened. When I really started to believe that, that's exactly what started to happen. Every time I would smoke, I would get convicted in my spirit. Every time I would feel guilty. I had never felt this way before, ever. A lot of times, man, we focus on our mental and physical, different ways that we can change. But there's nothing more powerful than spiritual. Nothing more powerful than your beliefs. Nothing more powerful than God. And I know some people that may watch this and think, oh, man, he's full of it. You would have to go through it yourself to understand, man. There's a lot of things that's happened in my life that I know I wouldn't have made it through if it wasn't for God. A lot of things that's happened. I look back over a lot of different points in my life, things that could have went completely different, times where I could have died over and over and over again, slipping through the cracks. Not going to prison when I definitely should have been in prison for different things inside of my life. And it's just God's grace, man. It's God's grace. It's because, I may have been a fool in a lot of parts of my life, but I was never too foolish to know that when I'm getting myself into something and when I'm coming out, I need to be talking to God. And I'm getting more wise now to where I know that I constantly, no matter if I'm in something, if I feel like I need them, which you always need them. But no matter what's going on inside of my life, everything could be great. I still keep that communication with God. I still pray daily, multiple times a day. And it's really helped out my life a lot, man. But in saying all this, I want to share this story with y'all. So I'm doing some reading. I'm reading the Old Testament. I'm reading Judges because this is something that has been preached on, and I've been watching sermons here lately on Judges, and there's a particular story I want to share with y'all, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to bring it back home, but I want to share this story with y'all first if you'll just stick with me. So in Judges starting in chapter 13, it tells a story of a man named Samson. Now, I'm going to try to summarize this best I can for time's sake. But Samson was born with a spiritual strength. He was born with supernatural strength, if you will. And his sole purpose in life was to deliver his people from the Philistines. But Samson had this thing for Philistine women. So early on, we see that Samson falls for this Philistine woman who he marries, and she betrays him. She betrays him. And he basically, her family, he gives her family a riddle, and she pulls it out of him deceptively. She cries. She does everything that she can to keep nagging him. And eventually she gets the answer. She gives it to her family. He's so overcome with anger that he goes and he kills all these Philistines, right? And long story short, fast forward, he meets another woman named Delilah. Now, this is what I want to focus on inside of this video. And I'm going to tell you, he's like, man, well, what does this have to do with weed? What does this have to do with, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to wrap this, I'm going to bring this all full circle. Just stick with me. So he meets this woman named Delilah. And Delilah, her job, she was sent by the Philistines who are holding this grudge of all these men that he's killed. They're holding this grudge and they want to kill Samson. They want his blood. And so they send Delilah, a beautiful Philistine woman, to figure out what is giving him his strength. So she asks him the first time, he lies to her, tells her something that is not. The power of his strength is in his hair. But he tells her that there's something else. Then he tells her there's something else. Then he tells her there's something, but she keeps on it every time that she's coming to him and asking him what is his weakness. She tries to do whatever it is that he's saying, but then she sends Philistine soldiers onto him. So this happens over and over and over again, and each time they fail because he's telling them a lie. Well, eventually she does the same thing that his wife did. She nags him. She's crying, oh my God, how can you say you love me? You're not telling me the truth, blah, blah, blah. And eventually he says, okay, my hair has never been shaven. If my hair gets shaved, then that is the source of my strength. I will lose my strength. Okay. So what do you think happens? Philistine soldiers pop up again when his head's shaven, and they gouge his eyes out, put him to work in a prison. Now, in reading this story, and I'm going to stop right there. If you want to go and read it, inside the Bible is, again, Judges chapter 13 is where it starts at. And then it goes on, and you can watch the beginning and the end of Samson. I'm not going to go through all of that. But in the midst of me reading this, I wondered, why did he keep on going back to Delilah every time? She'll set him up. I mean, think about this in today's terms. You got this woman, this whoever that you like, if you're a woman watching this, you know, this man that you like. And every time you go over there, they're setting you up. Somebody's kicking in the door, attempting to kill you, you get away. Then it happens again. Then it happens again. It happens. So I wonder, I said, why would Samson keep telling her, you know, this different stuff? Like, why would he keep going back? What was his reason to keep going back? And it blew my mind, man. But when I really sat back and thought about it, I said, it's because he liked it. He liked it. He just liked whether it was a thrill of it, whether he just liked this woman that much, whatever it is, he liked it. And I think about all of the people that battle with addiction, and they talk about how it's ruining their life, how they're trying to shake it. It's like, why do you keep going back? Why do you keep going back? Because it's something in you that likes it. Now, even if it's not the weed, if it's not the actual substance itself, it's something about the thrill of it. It's something about it that just keeps bringing you back to it. But one thing that I want you to take away from this video, man, is even if you like something, if it's causing destruction in your life in any way, shape, or form, it's time to let it go. A lot of people saying that they can't get stuff right inside of their life. They can't get their health together. They can't get their relationships right. They can't get progress inside of their finances. They can't get progress inside of their spiritual life because they're dealing with addiction. So do you just keep on going back to it until eventually your destruction's at your door? Or do you say, you know what, enough is enough? For those of y'all who are interested, I encourage you to go and read that story. See how foolish it seems when you're reading it. And then think about what I just said. Why would you keep going back? One thing that's very important, spoiler alert for the end of his life. He calls on God one last time. You have to dig deep within yourself and call on God. Be strong enough to call on God, man. It's 502 King Power. I love y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Till next time, I'm out, man.